Next on Worcester News tonight, a new police chief for the city of Worcester is officially sworn in. Plus, a striking Verizon worker is injured on the picket line after being hit by a truck. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Tim McCone. We begin tonight in the city where the longest-serving police chief since World War II is set to retire on Friday. Chief Gary Jem announced his decision last week, and tonight the city is swearing in his replacement.
The directors of my supervisor, the director of my supervisor. So help me God. So help me God. Congratulations, Chief.
Steve Sargent was sworn in by City Manager Ed Augustus Thursday afternoon. Sargent was serving as a deputy chief. He has more than 30 years experience in the Worcester Police Department and is a lifelong city resident. Sargent is the 39th police chief.
Well, it's been exciting. It's been, just trying to get to this point where we are now, where, I am the chief, and, you're kind of in flux a little bit. It's like anything, any transition. But the transition's been very good, actually. It's been real good.
It's an important day when you have a new leader of a department like the Worcester Police Department, and I think we're fortunate we have the right leader leading the Worcester Police Department into the future.
Sargent is the son of a retired police officer, and one of his sons is also a Worcester police officer. Well, the Massachusetts Senate has approved a bill to ban discrimination against transgender people in public accommodations. The vote was 33-4. The bill would let transgender people use bathrooms that correspond with their gender identity. Opponents say the bill would violate the privacy rights of girls and women. The debate now heads to the House. Senator Michael Moore of Millbury releasing a statement tonight saying, in part, this bill fills the gap to ensure that transgender individuals are not refused service or discriminated against in public places such as restaurants, nursing homes, coffee shops, grocery stores, and sports arenas. Well, the month-long Verizon strike gets a little more intense today. Thursday morning, a Verizon striker was hit by a truck while picketing in Westboro. The driver of the truck was a replacement worker who is now facing serious charges. Our Brittany Schaefer has more details.
Obviously, when they went in search of replacement workers, that wasn't criteria that they wanted to pass off.
A replacement Verizon worker hits a striking Verizon worker with a truck Thursday morning. 47-year-old Joe Rooney was in this picket line when he was hit. Police say the driver, 55-year-old George Pulling, was drunk.
Kind of panicked when he was driving through the line. He hit the gas, accelerated through the line. One of the picketers ended up on the hood of the truck.
And he accelerated once again and took our member about 15-20 feet down the street, slammed on the brakes, and the member was thrown off of the hood.
Pulling faces multiple charges. Police say it is his fourth DUI and he did not have a driver's license.
To hire the workers that they've hired with no background checks, no experience.
And how he did not have a valid driver's license and was working as a contractor for Verizon. I don't know how that happened.
A police officer was also struck by the vehicle.
He was charged with 2 counts of assault and battery with a dangerous weapon, the motor vehicle. He hit one of the officers with the side mirror of his car also.
Pulling was arraigned at Westboro District Court Thursday and is being held on $50,000 bail. He is not allowed to come in contact with Rooney, who is expected to be okay.
He had some minor abrasions. He was complaining of hip pain. It's my understanding he is out of the hospital now and he's going to be fine.
Brittany Schaefer, Worcester News Tonight.
We're learning more details about the man who led police on a wild chase across 2 states Wednesday. It started here in central Massachusetts, and court records show it's not the first time this individual ran from police officers. Arnie Madison has more, including a look at where the chase started.
Richard Simone appears in court this morning in Nashua, New Hampshire, the town where Wednesday's police chase ended. Shrewsbury Street in Holden is where it started.
They didn't slow down at all here, so he must have already headed down towards Pinecroft.
Kevin Donovan heard the sirens and says the speed the cars were going got his attention.
It's a normal occurrence with the police coming down, but when the second one came, I said, oh, it must be something big.
I was on that's 190, and there was a marked state trooper that came flying up behind me. She carried on, and then not even 2 minutes later, an unmarked state trooper went in the same direction.
Simone got on 190 and then went through Leominster. Susan George says she was on Route 12 when she noticed a
me.
gray truck and several police officers behind her.
I pulled over and was a little concerned that the gray pickup truck behind me did not throw a blinker and didn't get out of the way.
Court documents show Simone has multiple outstanding warrants, including assault with a dangerous weapon. The most recent warrant coming when police tried to arrest him on Sunday in Millbury. Simone got away and almost rammed a police cruiser in the process. Fortunately, no drivers were injured during the almost hour-long chase Wednesday.
It was a little unnerving, but, you know, certainly glad that this person was finally taken into custody.
Andy Madison, Worcester News Tonight.
The almost hour-long police chase from Holden to New Hampshire was seen in many homes across the Commonwealth. And what is getting a lot of attention is what happened when officers arrested Richard Simone. Police are now investigating the actions of their officers. Olivia Lemon has that part of our story.
It was sickening to think that the police that we put, you know, in a responsible position to uphold the law, and to just see them beating somebody like that.
This is the video now under investigation by multiple agencies. It shows officers arresting 50-year-old Richard Simone after he led police on a chase through 2 states. The way police apprehended him is in question.
No matter what they did, I just thought that it was sickening, and they set a very poor example.
It does not look good when police are taking, you can use force, for sure, but you use force that is necessary to subdue the person. So a few of the punches certainly looked a little out of line.
Criminal justice professor Stephen Morielli says the investigation into the officers' actions will most likely look at communication between the departments involved and how much information they knew about the suspect while the chase was happening.
In some cases, what you have is that you're going to lose radio contact, and that's dangerous for the officer. And obviously, along the way, other officers join suit, you know, from town to town, and clearly from state to state. The big question always is, what did you know, when did you know it, and what did you do about it?
2 state troopers involved have been relieved from duty, one from New Hampshire, the other from Massachusetts. Mass State Police are investigating the actions of their trooper. Colonel Richard McEwen says in a statement, the Massachusetts State Police expect and demand all department members to act at all times with integrity, honor, and adherence to the law. If it is determined that a department member has not lived up to those expectations, we will take appropriate action. Olivia Lemon, Worcester News Tonight.
2 people are under arrest for an armed robbery in Webster, and an arrest warrant has been issued for a 3rd individual. Police say Nicole Vaudre, Kendra DePiro, and Kevin Simpson pulled up next to a 20-year-old man outside Sunnyside Farms Tuesday evening. One of the suspects then reportedly pointed a gun at him and demanded his backpack and other belongings before driving away. Nicole Vaudre and Kendra DePiro were tracked to Auburn, where police arrested them. An arrest warrant has been issued for Simpson. Frustration from residents in a Worcester neighborhood. They say their cars were ticketed because the city told them the wrong day for street sweeping. An alert Worcester text stated a street sweeping would start on Tuesday, but it actually happened on Monday. The signs posted in the area around Plantation Street had the correct date, but the text led to some confusion. Melissa McDonald says she received a $50 ticket Monday and says parking in the area is limited.
And he had already ticketed my vehicle. And they didn't even have to tow me. I moved it for them, and it was a rental. My car was in the shop. So that wasn't very happy. I was so mad. I asked the guy, I'm like, why did you ticket my car if you didn't have to move it? You stated I was interfering with the street sweeping, and I did nothing of the such. And he just looked at me and said, I don't know, take it up with the city.
The statement from the city says, according to their records, no tickets were issued to anyone who received the mistaken text alert. Well, a big night for the Worcester Regional Chamber of Commerce as they host their annual Business Awards. The event took place at the Haven Country Club in Boylston. Awards ranged from Small Business of the Year to Retailer of the Year. GFI Partners took home Business of the Year honors, while Shishi's Salon took home Small Business of the Year. Meanwhile, WPI held its first ever graduate student commencement this evening, the university awarding 740 master's and doctoral degrees. France Cordova, the director of the National Science Foundation, delivered the keynote address, urging the graduates prepare to be surprised not at world events or at the fortunes of others, but be surprised at yourself. Follow their instincts. WPI's undergraduate ceremony is slated for